There isn't one or the other. It's you got to do both and you got to do them well. With GEO, you go broader and deeper in your topic. And really, that's just good SEO. A lot of our clients are already getting traffic from the GPTs. They're already showing up. It's growing and it's something you can't ignore.
All right, welcome back to Chats with Selenites.
Hello, how are you?
Today we are on the couch talking about something very important in the world of upcoming digital marketing.
Right.
That is GEO.
GEO, what does that stand for?
Generative Engine Optimisation.
Yeah, right. So Generative Engine Optimization, some people call it Answer Engine Optimizations, AEO.
Yeah.
What's the other? LLM Optimization. All these terms have been thrown around. So yeah, exciting topic.
Yeah, there is some debate in the SEO community about the name.
Right.
Yeah.
It's involved.
Yeah, people can't settle on what it's actually called, but yeah, GEO for us is where it's at.
Yeah.
So today we're going to dive into what that means.
Awesome.
What it looks like, what you should be thinking about as a business owner to kind of prepare for this new frontier.
Yeah, because it's early days. So even for us, like we're testing things, we're seeing results, but at the time of recording this, like ChatGPT is about to launch ads.
Yeah.
They're just going to just shake everything up again. And we'll listen back to this in a few years. Like, here, remember that? We were in there. It was the wild, wild west. No one knew what they were doing. You were in there by fluke. But we do know some things that are definitely working and what to do and how you can prepare for it. So looking forward to discovering what those things are today.
Yeah, cool. So before we dive in, I want you to tell me if you were like planning your GEO strategy for your best mate, for your mum, or for someone who you really loved and cared about, what's the most important thing that you would want them to do straight away?
Yeah. Understand. So this is for business. Yeah. Understand, are your customers on there? And how do you fit in the customer journey and the picture of it?
Yeah.
Are your customers on there to find information about your products and services? So are they ready to buy? Or are they on there to just learn about the topic of your business? So understanding what that is before even getting into the technical. And that's exactly the same with SEO and we always say that we're marketers first and then SEO geeks second. It's understanding your market and where do they fit into them, and is it the best place to actually spend time on, or is Google Ads still way better for you? Like, so that I'd be really honest with my loved ones, and we're the same with our clients. Like, I know they don't always like the answer. It's not always a service to us because we literally potentially lose a client over it because we tell them this is probably not the best place to spend your money. So I think the most honest answer is, will it actually work for you? And if it does, what does that look like? And that'll determine how involved you need to be in that media.
Yeah, it comes back down to marketing 101 of know your audience, right?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. There's a Dan Kennedy line, message, market, match. I was throwing one more M in there, and it's message, market, media, match. So you need to match your message to the market, but then also you need to use the right media to reach them. And maybe GEO is right. It's blowing up right now. And for a lot of companies, it's a great place to be on. For some, it may not be suitable. It's been the same with SEO as well. Oh, yeah.
So the search behavior of people within AI is often they'll get really deep into their research. They don't, what we're seeing anyway is typically jump in there with like, where to find a shirt for a Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
People are still using SERPs for that, right?
Yeah.
But it's more like, give me outfit ideas for a Christmas party. And they get the outfit ideas and then they dig and they dig and they dig. And that's when the payouts will come in.
Yeah, right. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of looking for, hey, do this for me.
Yeah.
Or do that for me. Or show me how to do this. Or give me more information about that. It may evolve, but yeah. Do you trust a GEO engine to help you pick a surgeon? Probably not. You gotta find them on Google, look at the reviews, do all this other stuff before you. So and Google understands this. That's why they brought in My Life, My Money, My Life as one of their algorithms, because they're gonna judge those sites way differently than they would to a local tradie.
Yeah. So yeah, totally. Okay, so what is the real difference between GEO and SEO?
Great. In the simplest form, SEO is about a list of results on the search engines. And so it's about getting found, and Google search brings about the top 10 results that are closely matched to a query. Whereas Geo, the way I see it, it's very conversational. So you're not going to get a list of 10 best sites. It'll pull from all those sources. And if you're cited in those sources, you may get a link in there, but it doesn't say this business, this business, this business. It kind of gives you an answer, and within that answer, your brand might be cited. Okay, so it's about being cited. It's about having a presence in that answer versus SEO. Here's a list of answers. Go through them. We think these are the best 10 ones.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the real. It's a list of answers versus a conversation to help you lead to the answer.
And where do those sites come from? Like, is it the content that really helps you get there?
Yeah, it's having a presence of where Chad, we call it ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of those pull information from. And what we're seeing a lot at the moment is they're pulling sites from other authoritative sources, Reddit, Quora, other blogs and forums, big industry sites, big news sites, are authoritative sites. That's where they pull a lot of their information from.
Okay. What has changed in search to make geo necessary? Why does it exist?
Yeah, I don't see. See, if you have a look at it, how have we evolved in how we find information, or let's say we find businesses. So back at the day, we have phone books. So, and that was just a list from A to Z to find all the suppliers. And Google kind of took us on the journey to grab all those results, but give you the top 10 based on reputation, on authority, on age, and things like that. Back in the days, I don't know if you remember this, but if you wanted to get really successful with the phone book listing, you just put like a business name.
Yeah.
It would mean you'd be the first business in your category. So that was like phone book optimization, right? So that evolved into now SEO, which is still relevant today, but we're just kind of evolving into now Google and all these other engines. They're finding out that we didn't just search with keywords. People are putting questions into Google already, and it's been happening for many, many years. So it's I think the big shift has been from a keyword phrase kind of approach to a conversational approach. And we talked about that already. And Google has adapted to that. They've got their own AI results. So that's generative engine optimization as well, getting in that. And they've brought out AI mode. So it's all about, rather than just targeting one keyword, it's targeting conversation. So it's shifted from a keyword to a phrase to now conversations. I think that's been the big shift, that we're engaging with this AI to lead us to the best answer.
Yeah. And just for our listeners to understand, the SERPs now look very different, right? So he's got the AI overview, we've got featured snippets. People also asked, what elements of those are generative engine optimization?
Yeah, I think they're just really the early days of what it's going to look like. So, and it's the fact that Google's just been testing this stuff all the time. So back when I started, we had 3 paid results. Was there mats? There was already mats there, and then 10 results, and that was it.
Yeah.
Now we've got the paid results, we've got the AI overviews, we've got people also ask, we've got the organic results, we've got then the related searches, we've got video searches, all of these different media. And I believe it's just Google kind of testing what's best for the intent of this search. So for the intent of that keyword or that phrase that someone's putting into Google, what's the best answer? Is it a video? Is it a conversation? Or is it just, here's the business listings? And I think that's how it'll evolve. If someone's looking for a business in that region, it's still going to be predominantly traditional results. People are going to resort to that. But if people want to go on the journey to discover things, they're going to jump straight into AI mode to help them kind of go through that conversation.
Yeah. How should businesses start doing GEO today?
Okay. All right. So it goes in line with what we talked about. So traditional SEO, you've got a structured site, that targets a broad theme. We call it our source context. So this website's about this. And we have categories that say within that source context, we do this, this, this. And then we have landing pages, which might be a little bit more keyword targeted. Okay, so it kind of comes down like that. Now, all of that is still true. But with GEO, you go broader and deeper in your topic. And really, that's just good SEO. And what that allows you to do is get cited across a lot more broader topics within the source context of your site, so within what your business does. And deeper means you're discussing the topic at a much deeper level. So for example, for us, we have an article on our site that talks about technical SEO, but within technical SEO, there are so many different things. So for example, site speed is one of those. So now we go broad by touching on all of them, but then we go deep by now going deeper into site speed. So how does site speed work? What are ways that you can increase your site speed? Now, then he'll talk about like 3 different things, and you can really go deeper into that topic. It's not like someone wants to read that whole page, but Geo pulls those things out for that person that is going to ask that question.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that on your side, you're not going to get cited. So it's about being broader and deeper with your information, your content on your site. The other thing that answer engines love that works really well in GEO is having, we call it structured information. And what I mean by that is having bullets so they can quickly pull in the information. So the 5 ways to lose weight. Here's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull that in. Also tables. So ChatGPT loves tables. It just pulls that stuff in all day because it gives quick answers. And that's the thing. You remember we called it answer engine optimization? People are going in there and they're looking for answers. So they're looking for answers for the information that they're looking for. So I would look at structuring your content that way, having those bullets, having tables, and having Q&As. So like we used to think, okay, write an article and you've got to pull them in with a hook, and that's right in marketing. And if you're trying to get someone to read a whole piece, but if you're trying to do geo optimization, is literally question, answer, and it'll just get pulled in, because the days where people just visit your page and spend hours on there, with the evolution of this, are gone. I think there's still a place for that.
Yeah.
And for marketing and catching someone's attention, and they want to go deep in a topic, and if your content structure that way and leads them through that, it's going to work really well. But the shift is you got to have these things that's structured to make sure you're even in the game for the geo kind of evolution that we're in.
Yeah. Excuse me. Would you agree with the statement that the query network, you might need to explain what that means a little bit.
Yeah.
The query network is more important than keywords.
100%. That's the big shift, and it's been the shift in SEO as well.
Yeah.
We're not ranking and targeting keywords anymore. You call it clusters, you call it topics, whatever you want to call it, query networks.
Yeah.
It's someone's after let's say a dentist. They're going to formulate that in 100 different ways.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it could be a dentist in this area. It could be a teeth whitening specialist. Could be someone that specializes in root canals. You're still all looking for a dentist, but you're saying it in different ways. Now, that's the query network, and your site needs to be able to cover that topic in its entirety for Google to look at you as an authority. These AI engines are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of targeting all the different ways that someone could possibly ask the question.
Yep.
And finding that query network, which we have tools to do, User Search Console is one of them.
Yep.
And then writing to cover all of your bases, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So and it could be as simple as a Q&A right at the end. So or an FAQ or something like that. It's not like you need to have 100 pages targeting all these things. That's keyword based.
Yeah.
We're talking this page is the most broadest and deepest resource on that topic. AI engines, go to town, pull my information in.
Yeah. And there's actually, it's an exciting frontier because there's actually more places now that you can show up.
Exactly right. You're getting pulled in everywhere, all these different softwares, and it's just another version of SEO. Well, yes, that's literally what it is. We're trying to optimize for these engines now instead of the search engines. We're now optimizing for these answer engines for generative engine optimization.
Yeah. Which leads to my next question. Does GEO mean SEO is dead or just evolving?
Okay. I think if you're doing SEO really well, if you've paid attention the last few years, you're already doing geo. Okay. You're the breadth and width, the breadth and depth of content we've already talked about, the authoritativeness, how authoritative, that's where the whole EAT stuff comes in. Expert, experience, trust, authority, like all those things. Google's been telling us about this and that it's coming for years now. So if you've been doing that right, you're going to be pretty good. So I think it's just the next stage. And it's not even so much that it's evolving, it's just another version of it. So as I said, I think there'll still be space for traditional search. That'll always be around, I think, in my opinion. But we are going to shift to an AI model. And we're kind of like in between at the moment. So it's not like it's dead. It's just it's evolving, plus there's something getting added to it. So it's like another thing, but it's like the core of it and the source of it is search engine optimization. It's always kind of been around. It's just evolved now to these ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and they're all just different tools that kind of do the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. And I think people's search behavior will change as well. I've even found myself starting to type something into the Google search bar and going, it's not going to know how to answer this. I'm going to put it into AI.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's different use cases.
Yeah, as people start to figure out what AI can and can't do, I think search behavior will change, and it's just about SEOs keeping up with that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And just serving your audience.
Yeah, yeah. How do you optimize content for intent in a GEO world?
Yeah, great. We just literally what I just said. So serve your audience well. So there is, don't look at keywords as just a technical thing and now I've got to go after this keyword. Understand what that keyword means. Like, that's what intent is. Understand the intent of what is and it's a prospect searching for this thing. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve? And once you nail that, then you can write your content around it. Okay. So you've got to nail your intent, got to understand how to do that. But then the next phase really is, okay, now structure that information, how they're going to best get the answer. Okay, so if the keyword is, so what are we doing at the moment? SEO, geo, like an easy way for someone to get a quick answer. Like we're talking about this already, what, 20 minutes in, but if someone's just kind of get a quick, what's the difference? You can just do a table. Here's what this is, here's what this is. And that's the kind of stuff that these answer engines love. So just pulling in the table. So but it's because I understand as someone that's looking up GEO versus SEO, they want to know the difference between the two. That's the intent behind that search. And they don't want to know how each one works in the details and the depths of it. They just want to know, okay, how does this work? How does this work? What's the difference? Give me the quick answers. Then if I want to know more, they'll put in another search. So, and with geo, basically you're just staying in that conversation versus traditional SEO, you would then go scroll back to the top and type in another search. Geo just kind of does it quicker now. It's just you're in the conversation rather than this search, that search. That search is just continuing on in the conversation.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts around how important the metadata of that graph and the things that will rank on AI? So we're talking about a table.
Yep.
The alt text and the metadata in the back end, or is the table enough?
Yeah, no, all of it's really important. Remember, we're dealing with machines.
Yeah.
So structured data, schema markup, super, super important. Naming your images, really important. Letting them know this is a table. So actually doing it as a coded table, not just an image, really important because that will just pull that in. They understand code. They don't understand images so much, and they're getting much better at understanding images too. But the more you can demonstrate what this stuff is, the better. So structured data, markup, all the way. That's a key thing for Geo, what we've realized over the last few kind of months and years now.
Which brings us right back to traditional SEO.
Yeah, it's just doing it well. Like, yes, the information needs to serve your customers, but how you present that information, search engines need to be able to understand it. So that's the same thing here. So on your website, have all the information, the width and the depth of it for your customers, but then how you code that, so coding, technical SEO, do it so these generative engine op engines, the LLMs, they understand it through using their language, their code. So I stay away. JavaScript is probably not the best for that. So things like that. So yeah, structured data, clean code, tables, bullets, headlines, all your traditional stuff really is important with this as well.
Great.
Yeah.
And we'll just touch a little bit on a way that we find intent and search behavior is consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, consensus. It's a big thing in SEO, and I always tell people, "Hey, well, what I need to on my page to rank? I like look at the first page of Google. So they've already worked out how they feel about a keyword, about a topic, what they think is relevant to that.
Yeah.
So copy that. Then if you and then once you're an authority on that, then you can bring your own kind of opinion, and that's the same in the real world. Like you're not just going to get invited to a forum to speak on a certain topic. You need to have credibility before you get asked to do that. So it's the same with that. So you build up consensus by really kind of looking, okay, what's Google feel and say about this phrase? And the way I do it, I just look at the front page of Google. What are the title tags? What are the meta descriptions? What's Google bolding? What are they saying? And then it's okay, now I understand how they feel about this topic. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it positive? Is it negative? What are the words? So and you want to match that consensus, build up your authority in the space, and then you can kind of bring your own opinions and really guide Google on what this actually means. Okay, so that's the first level of consensus. Now, the second level, I believe, is that how do they want to consume that information? And we talked about that. Is it a table? Is it a graph? Is it short Q&As about this? So you need to have consensus with the actual searcher as well in terms of how they want to consume that information. So it's the topic consensus and what Google and these answer engines, these generative engines, whatever you want to call them, LLMs, how they feel about something and what they think is the right answer. So be tapping into that and then have it in the right format for them to consume it as well.
Yeah, great. And in the content strategy world, it's the opportunities for content are vast because it's like, there's an AI overview about this. We want to be talking about it.
Correct.
The
Tap into it.
results was an AI overview. That's enough.
Yeah.
So what makes content AI ready for generative search engines?
Yeah. Content. I think probably got to take a step back and how do you get your business ready? Okay. How do you as a company think about this? Is this something we went back straight to the start? Do you need to be there? Are your customers there? What does that look like? If they are, you need to look at ways to optimize it. And probably the first step that I would take is to let Google and Bing know that you're there. And the way you do it is you submit your website to Google Search Console, okay, or Bing Search Console, because ChatGPT, Bing, very close relationship. They power each other. So you want to let Google know you're there to let their ecosystem know that your site is this and start gaining that data. And same with things. So you want to, do that. The other thing is probably on a technical level, you want to make sure that your robots file doesn't actually block these answer engines. So a lot of, and there's reasons for this. It's not like a right or wrong, but it's the same with SEO. Do you want to be found on Google? Make sure you have your website indexable by Google. So it's the same thing. You want to make sure there's no blockages where they say, no, these answer engines can't pull my content. So that's probably the first thing. We want to get our technical stuff right. Now, the second thing is we want to have our content ready the way that we talked. Okay, so structured data, having the width and the depth of the information. So broadness in topic coverage and real deep in terms of how authoritative you are on the topic. So that's kind of your content piece. We already talked about that. And then really, so that's your site. The last thing really is think about where does ChatGPT go to get its information? Where do these engines go to grab their information? And we talked about this as well. It's authoritative sites. So start entering the conversation on Reddit about topics that are related to your business. Start answering questions on Quora and things like that. And going to the forums where your customers hang out. That's where they're going to be pulling this stuff from. YouTube. If it's suitable for your business, I talked about that. Show up where it matters. Okay. Don't just try and show up everywhere. Where are your customers hanging out? Where does it matter for them? Where does it match your media matches your market? And then, but also think about, well, are these engines pulling from here? So you want to kind of make sure you're getting best bang for buck to asking those kind of questions. So that would be that. Yeah. So be technically ready, be content ready, and then be present and that's just basic SEO again.
Yeah.
It's like the buckets of SEO. It's like have a technically sound site, have topical authority, be optimized, and then let Google know that you're the authority on it by having all these backlinks, a presence around the internet.
Yeah.
And that's why they work so well together. Okay. Now, that's kind of the basic approach. There's probably two things you can do as a business, and it's not for every business. And let me explain. So first thing you can do, and it's advanced, it might be a hack and this may not work in future, but you could create a custom GPT for your market. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you can create a GPT and publish it to ChatGPT for the public to use. Now, if your GPT, and it's dependent, and you can brand it around your business. So you can do one that helps your market do something. Okay, so you can come up with a GPT with a prompt and things like that, and where the rest of the market can actually use this in a good way. And the ones that work really well help you make more money. So that would be a GPT in, for example, our space in marketing, where it helps them rank their website better or build better content, the subjects that you talk about on your website. So how to do marketing better.
Yeah.
Then it could be a GPT that saves you time. So in like a small business that hasn't got the cash flow to pay for a bookkeeper, here's how to organize your invoices quicker or something like that, or crunch the data or prepare it for the accountant that they can then submit your paperwork. So something like that, you can come up with that. Another GPT that works really well is that impresses others. So it's like something that they can share with their friends or with their audience to make them look good. So if it saves someone time, it makes someone money, if it allows them to impress others and pass it on, those kind of GPTs work really well. Okay, so it's creating an agent, people call it. So yeah, so a ChatGPT agent or a custom prompt, brand it around your business and help it solve something for your target market.
Yeah, great.
So that's kind of one thing. So that's around just your broad business. Now, the other one, and this is only for e-commerce sites, and this is still evolving as well. But if you type in ChatGPT/merchants, you can actually register your store with ChatGPT. Now, what that means is if your stores, it's like the feed gets pulled in there, and you have to register, you have to apply, and you have to be approved at this point in time. But if your feed gets pulled in there, when people are searching for certain things, your products from your e-commerce store are actually going to show up in those conversations. So that's ChatGPT/merchants. So it's available in the US at the moment, and Shopify has already integrated it. I'm pretty sure that Etsy is getting integrated into it as well, and it just helps Chat to bring it across all that relevant information. So we've already got it on Google Merchant Center. They're just doing the same thing, but right now you can apply to register for that, and your products will get pulled into that. So that's kind of a little bit more advanced, more of a bonus one. Your basic one, and then you can brand a GPT to let Google know about your business, or you can actually submit your commerce stuff. They're a little bit more advanced strategies kind of to help us out today.
Great, love it. For listeners today, I think an important thing to be asking your SEOs is, what's my query network?
Yeah.
What are you doing to optimize me for generative search?
Yeah.
Ask them about the custom GPTs and the merchant, and really just start to think about how you can leverage AI, because it's not scary, it's exciting. And be part of it. Yeah, be part of it. If your SEO isn't thinking about how they can optimize you for that, you might be missing out on a big area. So
yeah, and that's the big thing we've realized. When we do SEO well, a lot of our clients are already getting traffic from the GPTs of this world. Yeah, so they're already showing up. It's growing. It's not much, nowhere near as much as Google right now,
Yeah.
but it is growing and it's something you can't ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there isn't one or the other. It's you got to do both and you got to do them well. But one feeds the other. That's the beautiful thing. It's not like you have to do something completely different. One actually helps the other out.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, David. I think this has been great, and I hope that you have all learnt something about GEO today.
Awesome. Have a good one. Cheers.
Cool.